So did I tell you about when I was at the Philippines? Holy shit, bro.
Oh,
that was messed up.
Those are fun parties, though.
Yeah, they are. They were really fun parties, man. It was
Can't
fucking
really
awesome.
Say no.
I don't know how to say no in Philippine. I mean, I can understand it either.
You're too busy going, yes, yes, yes.
Oh, we're back on, aren't we?
Oh shit, man. Again, we're implicated in all the crimes we commit internationally now. Welcome everybody to the Skip the Noise podcast. You will be joined this evening by the illustrious Brown Python and myself, Mexican Nostradamus. We will be missing Blueberry Sugar himself,
as you
King
can tell.
Benjamin James. Yes, he will be missing this evening. So we will try to carry on without him and try to break every single internet rule, as we are no longer tethered, ladies and gentlemen. He is the tether that keeps us from just completely going crazy. So
we'll that being said, let's talk about the N-word. No.
Fucking shit. Seriously, fucking
all right, let's do that. All right.
So
How do we
Nancy Reagan, right?
The other N-word.
Nancy Reagan. The illustrious blowjob queen.
She's not the blowjob queen. She is the wife of the magnificent president.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, dude. She sucked dick so hard. Fucking Reagan got like Alzheimer's, bro.
Is that
dementia.
Right? Is that how that
his
happened?
Brains out. That's what happened. That was the medical cause. You didn't see that?
I had no idea.
Yeah, she blew his brains out. Literally blew his brains out. Yeah, that's a hell of a woman till the end. Till the end. She can get a golf ball through some water hose. Anyways, moving on. I guess you guys don't want to hear about our social commentary regarding the former first lady and her fellatio abilities, which, as magnificent as they were, supposedly supposed to be. I guess we should probably kick it into another lady who seems to be sucking a lot of dick pretty badly, and that's Miss Tulsi Gabbard.
What? She's not sucking dick, man. Come on. She's reasonable. She is super reasonable. Okay,
hold on. Let's preface the story before we start. Before you start pulling it out.
Whatever.
Tulsi Gabbard has been part of this, what seems to be this new revelation. So right now in current American politics from the right wing, there seems to be this weird kind of mishmash of stories that are anti-Ukraine in a way, like a lot of like suspecting and a lot of like suspicion. Well, Tulsi Gabbard brought up a story the other day, and this is a couple of days. This is by the way, happy St. Patty's Day. This is 3/17/2022. Yeah, it is true.
I didn't get
so happy St. Patty's Day to you, senor. With that being said,
it's like the white man's Cinco de Mayo.
It is, right? It's pretty dope. I mean, he fucking chased snakes out of the city. Tulsi Gabbard a couple of days ago basically said that, and well, not necessarily said, but went to the credence into the story that there were several biolabs in Ukraine that were developing and, kind of developing what they were developing, but they were basically put by us or some type of
funded by us,
and that there are biolabs and all this other shit, and basically leading to, the right wing. I would say it's propaganda.
No, what was she saying?
She basically said that they were there. She said that there was 20 to 30 of them, et cetera, and that these particular biolabs, she left vaguely for a reason, because of course, they could be saying, oh, they're creating the new
COVID-20
or the COVID-20, right?
Yeah.
So she was trying to throw in that kind of vague reference and kind of playing into the right-wing propaganda.
Not really.
Okay. She is. And
I'll explain what's going on a little bit. Go ahead.
No, continue. You can do. You know what? Because that's just I was just wanting to give the 50,000 whatever feet view of the situation. So please, illuminate us.
What's happening in Ukraine is that they did find. The United States did not deny, but actually admitted to funding certain biolabs in Ukraine. Okay. I don't know the exact number, maybe 20 to 30. I'm not sure what the number is, but the United States is funding some biolabs in Ukraine. Okay. Now, what Tulsi was saying is that we should probably do something with these biolabs before they get either taken over or bombed and something gets released. Okay, she wasn't. A lot of the misconceptions is that she was talking about bioweapons, and nobody said anything about bioweapons.
Well, hold on.
The only people who were talking about bioweapons was Mitt Romney and anybody else who is probably involved with the government, which I'm not sure why that would even be the case, because all she's saying is, hey, there's some biolabs here. We don't know what's inside of them or what they're creating, but they should probably get safeguarded, or everything should be destroyed. Something should be done before the Russians hit it. Okay? And quit it.
Right.
So that's what she's saying. And so for some reason or another, Mitt Romney decides to call her a Russian agent. Okay, the same verbiage that Hillary used.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you her exact quote, because you're not exactly quoting. And this is from her tweet. There are 25 plus U.S. funded biolabs in Ukraine, which if breached would release and spread deadly pathogen to the U.S. world. We must take action now to prevent disaster. U.S., Russia, Ukraine, NATO, UN, EU must implement a ceasefire now around these labs until they're secured and the pathogens destroyed.
Perfect. Yeah.
She said, like COVID, these pathogens know no border.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are inadvertently or purposely breached or compromised.
Got it.
And no, she said inadvertently or purposely breached.
Yeah.
They will quickly spread throughout Europe, the United States, and the rest of the world, causing untold suffering and death.
Okay. What part of that is not true?
It's basically the part about the U.S. funding is not necessarily true. That's not been confirmed. No,
oh my goodness,
confirmed nor denied. It has not been confirmed. First, that's the
keep reading.
Also, these biolabs. No, these biolabs. We don't know what's in them. We don't know what's happening. We don't really understand everything. For her to just say a blanket statement like that, especially with the way that she's playing into the kind of the propaganda, that's kind of a different game, man. That is a big game. And to be quite honest with you, conservatives are jumping her now too. Like,
but why
not
though?
Just this
what
is
what
not
part of
just
this was wrong?
Adam Kinzinger, Mitt Romney.
Oh my God,
dude! There's a lot.
They're
of
not
right.
Okay, those aren't conservatives; those are rhinos.
No.
Yeah, but okay, what's wrong with safeguarding biolabs though?
Huh?
What's wrong with safeguarding them and implementing a ceasefire around these facilities?
Because we don't know we don't know everything about this, and for her to kind of say some shit, she like half cocked. That's not a smart thing to do, especially in the war zone, right? I mean, let's be honest. Did we know
that COVID was being developed in China?
We did.
No,
we did.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, who did?
The United States did.
Okay,
Trump did.
Okay, well,
Trump signed the bill that allowed the cleavage to occur.
Okay, but here's the thing now. What do you mean we don't know what's inside these labs? Somebody has to know what's in these labs, right?
Right. Somebody has to know, right? But
somebody has to know.
Right. Tulsi Gabbard doesn't know.
Okay, but we can. But considering that the world was turned upside down because of COVID, don't you think that might be the responsible thing to say?
Right. But so let's take the statement at the ground level, right? Sure. Which is someone just saying some shit. She didn't know what the fuck's happening. She really doesn't know. Tulsi Gabbard has no idea. Now, she's basically, because she's parroting information that she got. Did she get this information from a verified source?
What information though?
That there's biolabs. Did she get it from a verified source? That's what I'm saying. Like, look, realistically, yes, right? If there's some type of real bad chemical contagion, things of that nature, we have to be careful. I'm not disagreeing with that point. What I am disagreeing with is the fact that her source isn't verifiable. Does she for sure know this? And if she does know this, how does she not know that these labs weren't already cleaned out? How does she not know? How does she know any of this information? Essentially, she got her information from basically a right-wing propagandist machine. That's where that came from. So she's just, basically parroting information she's hearing secondhand.
She's admonishing people and saying that, hey, if there's there are these biolabs, okay, and we don't know what's in them. She doesn't know what's in them. I think she admits to that in her tweet. But they should be safeguarded. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that. It's like saying, I don't know. It's like going to a concert or something, and you're like, okay, we should probably make sure the exits are clear. But you're like, why? There's no fire. You got that from a wrong propaganda. Well, what if there is a fire? You should probably safeguard the exits. Yeah, but there's no fire. Okay, there could be one. There's no, right. and then you say that I'm
well, okay,
I'm a Russian agent for saying that fires should be cleared.
There's been several different things. I mean, she said multiple. Okay, so that's the problem is that while the conversation regarding the biolabs, that's just the tip of the spear. She said several things throughout this invasion, everything from saying that the invasion's kind of really what Biden wants to, I mean, what else? She basically says sanctions don't work. She, Gavin, even Hannity and people are like, whoa, hold on a second.
Wait a second.
You're kind of, she's going, but that's what I'm telling you. She's become, and that's fine. Tulsi Gabbard, hey, if you're sad and depressed and, you're looking for money, that's cool. But just announce to everybody and stop using your platform like at one point, she seemed like she was a clear, level-headed, middle-of-the-road person that could actually help the country. Now she sold her soul to Fox News and to whoever, and understands that that's where her money and her support's coming from. So it's no longer that, man. I unfortunately, these biolabs, she doesn't know. She's playing the right-wing propaganda right now, which I guess in its own essence is the story about why there's almost this weird right-wing, almost staunch. I wouldn't even say staunch, but almost in a way supporting.
What,
Putin
Russia
right now?
No,
yeah, Russia. Yes. What are you talking about? From Trump's statements to people going, well, there's been a lot of disinformation regarding a lot of stuff in Ukraine, and it's all coming from right-wing groups. And it's just kind of like, wait, what the fuck? You guys realize we're talking about the Russians here, right? And I'm not trying to be mean, but they have been categorically our enemy for a long time. At least the government, not the people. Russian people or American people, we're just the retards fucking caught up in this shit. But people are just the pawns of the government. It just seems very weird. So I think it's just more, if you look at the follow-up, the follow-through, what she's been doing, is she's just kind of been parroting that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so, man. I think what she said was very general. It was very admonishing. I mean, who wants to see the next COVID come out? I mean, do you really want to wear masks then and then lock down and have food shortages? Yeah, well, more food shortages. Nobody wants that. Nobody. Well, there's nothing wrong with putting out statements saying, hey, we better safeguard these biolabs if there's something inside of them.
Right.
She didn't say there was a deadly pathogen in there. She doesn't know. I think she admitted in her tweet.
But she's okay. And do you know that she's the CPAC speaker now?
Yeah, Yep. What?
I mean, come on, dude. It's just
who's not invited? Mitt Romney's not invited to CPAC.
Okay, she's the CPAC speaker now. Come on, dude. It's just
I'm just saying, man.
Come on. I mean, look, dude. So, more mad love to you, Tulsi. Hawaii is not expensive to live in. You got bills to pay. Good for you.
And she's a veteran. Come on.
Gotta
give her that too.
Come on. I mean, come on. Anyways, but nonetheless, it's kind of sad though, because at one point, right, she really did seem like she was a great alternative. I think we all, sucked her off a little bit, thinking that she was the greatest. But now you're starting to see what's happening. She does have a questionable history, even in Hawaii. There are things that happen with her family, things like that. She's not as stellar as she once was.
What happened?
There's some stuff I have to more substantiate, but some things I did kind of start following up on, especially regarding her family and stuff like that. There's a lot of weirdness that went down with her Hawaii. So More to come. I'm actually gonna I'll probably do one day. We'll do like a full expose on it because I'm kind of working on it. It's not good. It's definitely not good. Not good. But I don't want to go half cocked. I actually want to, when I do bury her, I want to make sure it's done really well.
No, but I think Tulsi, unfortunately for the Democratic Party, that's probably the best that they got, man.
Not really, because she's no longer a Democrat. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
She is a Democrat. She identifies as a Democrat.
CPAC spokesperson.
Hey, we're open to everybody.
Showing up on Fox News every 20 minutes.
CPAC is not Republican. All right. Okay. CPAC is majority Republican, but
it's a think tank. It's a conservatives think.
Yeah, conservatives. And you can be a Democrat conservative, right? Right? Come on.
Stupid. You're so dumb.
I'm just saying, the party labels are not part of CPAC. You can be a Republican or a Democrat as long as you have conservative values.
Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know what CPAC is, it's not some type of vaginal exam. CPAC is the Conservative Political Action Conference. Okay, it's set up by the American Conservative Union.
Oh, not the Republicans?
Nope, it actually goes further. They're even more right wing. The American Conservative Union. I think they spelled that with K's somehow. So. Yeah, she's gone to the other side. So look, I will bury her probably in the next episode or two, where I'm going to have a 10 or 15 minute spiel about her history. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, everyone, we've been kind of hoodwinked on this particular person. Not as good as it seemed. It happens to everybody. We all kind of hope that there's going to be a good person. We hope they find it, but I unfortunately, these are not the droids you're looking for. It's time to move on. But the other thing we're not looking for are these fucking I don't know, Supreme Court justices' wives showing up at fucking January 6th. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, you told me about this. I actually read the article. So Clarence Thomas's wife was seen at January 6th rally.
No, don't say rally, you fucker. Don't you do that, you cocksucker. You fucking tell where she showed up, you motherfucker. Where was she?
Oh, at the January 6th event in Washington, D.C. Yes, that, of course.
Such a jerk off.
I mean, a lot of people did. Trump was there. He gave an inspiring speech, and
he did not. Yeah, inspiring. It's called seditious, and it invoked a fucking riot.
That is not true.
It is true. It
is true. The FBI.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. The first lawsuits that are against him for that are coming very quickly through New York State Court.
New York. The people that couldn't didn't they try to indict him already and nothing happened? A lot of the attorneys quit.
Right, because he got a deal. Because they dropped the part of the prosecution because they held him for so long. No. They didn't quit because it was immoral for attacking them. They quit because it's being held up
because there's no evidence.
Because people are keeping it from happening.
No. They quit because there's nothing there. They're like, man, this is a nothing burger. I'm going to go put on something else, man.
Okay. Anyways, back on topic. Supreme Court Clarence Thomas, his wife, was present at the January 6th riot.
Oh.
She did not go into the building, but she did march with the people to the Capitol. So she was present during the break-ins, just did not break in, of course. I mean, she's she's a psychopath, but she's not that much psychopath. So what was the big crux of the story is if you have a person, so January 6th, whether you call it a riot or not, involved a lot of very weak-minded people, whichever way the story plays, right? Whether you say that the FBI invoked it or that Trump invoked it, whatever you say, it involved weak-minded people. One of those weak-minded people is with a Supreme Court justice of the United States of America.
Okay, she was not weak-minded.
Okay, because weak-minded.
No, dude, a lot of smart people go to watch Trump speak. I mean, he is the president of the United States.
No. Okay, no. This was Stop the Steal rally. Okay, this wasn't like his normal, Heil Hitler thing. This was his actual Stop the Steal. This is a complete riot to prevent the president from being officially installed into the United States. That's what that was.
But it wasn't weak-minded people. What it was the fact that there were a lot of voices that weren't given the chance to present.
It's called November what 2nd. It's called voting.
Dude, okay. You got to understand that there were a lot of anomalies that were not explained
Oh my
on
God.
November.
There's always
2nd.
some type of no.
It's
You can't
true.
use that. No,
It's true. Why
a
not?
bunch of weak-minded people that fucking got no. People do tantrums. That is not the way we do things. If you want to do something, you vote. Right?
You know why we don't do things? We don't have counties with 100% or more than 100% voting voting records. Okay.
This has already been dispelled. That
no, it has not been
This has been
dispelled.
dispelled. Nonetheless, if that was the truth, right? How did the Republicans win so many governorships, House seats, and state legislature? They took several. So how did that happen? But somehow, we let everything else go. The most important parts, except for the presidency. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, man. It doesn't make any sense. No. State legislatures overwhelmingly became Republican while Biden got elected president. You know what that means? That means there's enough Republicans to go, I'm fucking done with this fucking dumbass. I can't do it anymore. I'm going to vote for Biden, but I'm going to make sure my state stays Republican. And that's what happened.
Like,
that's what happened in a lot of states.
Starve and pay more for my gas.
Dude,
Is that what
no, because they know,
get fired from my job?
The end, they know that their state legislatures and their states are going to stay Republican. They just couldn't deal with Trump anymore, and that was a lot of Republicans. Period.
Yeah, I mean, we did get a lot of, but Trump did win a lot of counties.
I'm not saying he did
a lot of states.
Yes, dude. There's a lot of counties where the average reading level is first or second grade,
and it's not
took all of those.
But it's not okay. The areas in question are very heavily blue, corrupt areas.
But it's not. But okay, but that's not going to win him an election. Even okay. So what? Okay,
it might swing states.
It does not swing states because we're talking. Okay. That's the problem. That's the wonderful thing about our voting system that I'm scared that they're trying to change by all these voting right acts. And we have a massive conglomeration of all these basically independent voting agencies. When you have this many independent voting agencies, okay, don't get it wrong, right? If you corrupt one or two, you can. But the process still will be okay because there's so many independents. Isn't that the ideal of conservatism? You give the areas, you give them their own control. You trust them to do their job, because if you centralize everything, it's easier to be corrupted, right? Like if you have, that's the voting system. That's why it's so hard to be broken, which is why so many of these anomalies and things are bullshit. Because you would have to have had a monumental, like on the scale of flat Earth type scheme to really swing the fucking election, dude. And that's the truth. That's the fucking truth. I mean, you would have had millions and millions of people involved. I don't know
about millions.
Yes.
Maybe
yes. In a election of 160 something million people voted, right? As your quote, Joe Biden's the most popular president of all time with 85 million votes. Trump had 80 or 81.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a substantial amount of liars. That's a substantial amount of people to cheat.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't have to cheat everywhere. You only have to cheat in states that are purple, first of all. You pick your states that are purple. And then you corrupt the election boards of the major cities where the counties are. Okay.
Pennsylvania, election boards were Republicans.
Well, you know what?
Real Republicans too.
They didn't actually like Trump.
That literally vote that just to keep their jobs had to pass voting like law things. Georgia, fucking really? Georgia,
man.
Fucking Georgia.
Okay,
they're not Michigan? Fucking Republicans.
What about Detroit?
Dude, that's all he needed was those two states. That's all he needed was Georgia. Think about it. Think of the numbers on the map. He had Georgia and Pennsylvania. It was over. It didn't matter what else happened. Those two states had Republicans in control, and they, dude, to tell me that now the Republicans are cheating. Come on, That's what I'm trying to say.
Anyway.
The amount of fucking would be, like I said, flat Earth. Now you're a flat Earth. Just tell me the fucking Earth.
No,
Tell
man.
me the Earth side.
It's not flat. Okay, the Earth is actually quite round.
Tell me Earth's flat. It's that type of fucking thing. Or tell me. Come on. What else is there?
So you're telling me that
the
people
Earth's only
voted
10,000 years old. Is that what you're telling me?
You're telling me that people actually voted for this state we're in right now.
Yes.
85 million people voted for the high gas prices or food shortages, the World War III scenario.
Yes.
So there's 85 million dumbasses who voted for this.
Yes, just like there's 81 million dumbasses who voted for the other guy, dude.
Well, the other guy provided better jobs, man.
How? To who?
Better economy.
To rich people, we still have no. We just all we had was an increasing
inflation was low. Inflation was low.
No,
gas prices were low. Inflation was high.
Inflation was high.
Higher than it is now.
Been going on. No, but be quite honest with you. Let's be very frank. Inflation's been going on for the last 5 to 7 years, and at crazy accelerated rate.
Yeah,
and that I would probably say that to be quite frank, since Obama took office. Inflation has hit levels that have been paramount. If you look at it in college tuitions, housing market, overall rents, they increased substantially after Obama around 2008. After that last crash, I don't think we really got out. You know what I'm saying? I think you see the cost of things. I'm not trying to say it's definitely not just Trump, but shit went wrong when we bailed out all those companies in 2008. And inflation's been growing steadily since then. I mean, that's my opinion.
By the way, I never agreed with bailing out those companies, man. I think they should have been
let them crash and burn. Let them crash and burn.
That's how the forest grows, you know? You let the old wood die and let the new ones come in. That's it. That's how you do it.
And unfortunately, they just too big to fail bullshit, and that was all bullshit. That was a complete farce, because guess what? In the end, it did nothing. We bailed out so many banks, we bailed out so many things, and But anyways, okay, that's for a whole story. Going back, Clarence Thomas's wife is a fucking job. She was there. This guy's blowing a Supreme Court justice. Probably nightly because of how much porn he watched.
She's a conservative lobbyist.
Super conservative.
Yeah, she's a conservative lobbyist.
Yeah.
Well, she was just there as part of the job, man. That's part of her job is to go to these kinds of things.
Right, but okay. But the same thing, like we're asking congressmen, right? And Congress people not to buy stocks, things like that, because it's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Isn't someone who's deciding policy and the way the Constitution is to be basically interpreted, and his wife is a lobbyist?
I mean, Clarence Thomas is already conservative, man.
Not as much, dude. Say what you will. You gotta admit though, that's slightly terrifying. Let's put it on the other shoes, right? Sotomayor, right, was married to a communist Sandinista.
Yeah,
you wouldn't like it.
Is.
But I'm just saying, you wouldn't like it, would you? You would think though there's a conflict of interest.
Would it surprise me? No. It wouldn't. It would have surprised me if I found out that Sotomayor was. Well, first of all, I'd be more surprised if she was heterosexual.
Oh. But this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when
Benji's not here.
Benjamin James.
But if you were to tell me that was the most surprising part, after my shock, I'd be like, who is she married to? You're like, oh, some communist Sandinista who fought in Cuba with Castro. I'm like, I can see it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, but nonetheless, though, you could see that there's a conflict. There's a scariness to it, right? Especially since, these political lobbyists, they're paid substantial amounts of money.
Oh, I'm sure she knows a lot of people on the
circuit, we're talking about, dude, you know how much these people on K Street makes? And K Street is a reference to the streets around the Capitol, where all the lobbyist firms are. These people make $500,000 to $1 million a year for influence.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. And seeing that she is basically blowing Long Dong Silver himself every night, it's a little spooky. And I know some people are saying, oh, that should call for him to be, I guess, removed. It's stupid, but it is scary if you think about it, and how deep the lobbying organizations, whether conservative or oil or whatever, are so entrenched in our government. Makes you think sometimes just the level of corruption and undue influence that they have. That's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you on that because the lobbyists shouldn't have so much power, man.
No.
You know,
But they're banging Supreme Court justices. They're cutting checks on the floor of the Senate.
They're probably banging John Roberts. Okay, I mean,
yeah. Well, you know, he is the youngest looking of them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's definitely not the chick who was in the sex cult.
Really? Which one is that?
The newest, the
newest
Supreme Court justice. I forgot her name. She was number 27 in the sex cult. But moving on. I did want to talk a little bit. I think we would be remiss if we didn't discuss a little bit of what's going on in Ukraine right now. Currently, and I think I have
even how they got screwed over?
Yeah. Yes, they've been screwed over multiple times. Well, Biden just signed an $800 million deal that's going to provide them with 2,000 more javelins, which are holy shit. I don't know if you guys are watching videos. Those things are nightmares to tanks.
Nightmares. Yeah, but how, dude, wouldn't they benefit more from more airplanes?
Right.
What happened with that, man?
Oh, they got screwed. That's screwed. They got screwed.
Yeah, dude, they got totally screwed.
Well, I think Poland, and from what I got from this conversation, I could be wrong, but from what I gather is Poland, I think, was expecting to trade in 29 MiGs and get 29 F-35s.
From Ukraine or from
us,
the United States?
And the United States, whoa, pump the brakes. That's F-35s. I think that was the misinterpretation. And I think Poland, while don't get wrong, very supportive. If you didn't see what happened on Tuesday or Monday, basically the leaders of Poland, Czechoslovakia, Slovakia, I don't know the countries, the other former Eastern Bloc countries, Baklava, they all actually went to Kyiv during an active war zone and met with Zelensky. So I'm not doubting Poland's intent, but I do think that they were expecting F-35s, and the United States is not going to just give anybody F-35s. That's a key of our air supremacy.
Okay, man. Okay, so there's a lot of disconnect here. First of all, it never made sense to me. Why stop at planes, right? Why stop at MiG fighters when they're giving the Ukrainians money and Javelin missiles? Because their excuse is, well, we don't want to provoke Russia into attacking NATO. We don't want to provoke World War III. But you're already giving this country weapons,
right?
So why stop at planes?
Well, I think because I think the problem is, and I think everyone knows, the only thing Russia technically has over Ukraine right now is air superiority.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to turn that around, what could Ukraine do? And I think that's the crazy part is I think if Ukraine had more aircraft, they could launch counteroffensives against Russia.
Absolutely. They can go to Moscow and start shooting some buildings down there.
That's the problem. I think, and this is personal, and also I've been keyed into, I have a former friend, a former person I kind of went to school with. He was a friend when we were younger, but I won't mention names or anything, but he was involved in Desert Storm, military strategist, very brilliant guy. He keyed into another individual talking about some of the military strategy going on right now in Ukraine. And that's the thing. If they got more air power, we're talking about severe counter offenses against Russia, which could be joined by the other. Poland could attack Belarus. I think we're playing a very, very, very narrow seesaw right now.
I don't understand.
If we give them air superiority,
all right.
Yes. If we give planes to Ukraine, they're going to probably take out a lot of what Russia's doing. Because right now,
and what would be wrong with that part?
Huh?
What would be wrong with that? I mean, taking out what Russia's doing.
That's when shit gets hot. See, we don't want the foreign relations is a seesaw, right? Ukraine is just weak enough, but just strong enough to really fucking give it to Russia. If you make Ukraine too strong, it's going to expose a weaker Russia, which is then going to cause Ukraine to counterattack. And if Ukraine counterattacks, Russia has already been exposed for their shitty military equipment, their horrible instability, and their lack of overall military, like basically strategy, dictum, everything they're doing is wrong. So if Ukraine actually encroached on Russian territory,
right,
we could have a real nuclear war very quickly.
Why?
Because
you think Putin would launch a nuke?
Yeah, 100%. Now that's what he'll fire, and he'll fire in Ukraine. Now, will he fire in the United States? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he'll fire in Ukraine. So I think it's a very, very, very dangerous seesaw. And if you make one too strong, they're going to wipe out the other. And if you make the other one too weak, then, it's a problem. So I think there's more statesmanship than what we're seeing in regards to that. I just think the planes would have tipped the balance too much. And I think we would have had Ukraine invading Russia. Because if you look at it right now, the Ukrainians, with just the little bit of shit we're giving them, have inflicted almost 40% damage on the Russians. 40% of the Russians overall, like we're talking about troops, tanks, military armaments, have been dispatched by the Ukrainians.
All right.
That's a substantial amount. And we're talking about troop losses too. Now, not all of them were killed, but a lot were captured.
Yeah.
Dude, and on top of that, ask anybody who knows some military history or strategy, guess what's going on right now?
What's that?
Everyone's rewriting the book on how to fight wars. Armor is not as good as thought. Like you saw these rows and rows and rows of tanks. What have they been done? They've gotten stuck. They're falling apart. Single crews of basically commandos are taking out the tanks as they're sitting because Russians didn't supply any real detail to protect the tanks, like detachments or squads. So that's why they're just taking them out one by one in these fox traps. Well, they'll hit them from the back and the front, lock them in, cause mass confusion. And then you got all these fucking every type of missile hitting them. Plus the drone attacks. This whole thing's rewriting the whole dictum because, you saw like Desert Storm, right? That's what we did. We rolled in a bunch of tanks and lit shit up, but that wouldn't work now. Not with the Stingers, not with all the different type of armaments. So it's definitely changing. So I think right now, if you give too much to Ukraine, it tips the power balance too much, and you have a Ukraine attacking Russia.
I wonder though. I mean, would the generals listen to Putin if he said launch the nukes?
I think they wouldn't listen to him if Russia wasn't in danger. If Russia wasn't in real physical danger, I don't think they would launch. But if Russia,
I don't think they would launch because
you're launching against
a game. You're launching on a non-nuclear power.
It doesn't matter. They don't care. We did it to Japan. You don't think someone else is going to hit somebody up?
All right. Okay. Japan was different. Don't get me started on that. Japan was different.
That's what all I'm saying is I think there has to be some statesmanship. We cannot make Ukraine too strong because next thing you know, we got Ukraine trying to knock on the door of fucking Moscow.
All right. Hey, I got some tinfoil hat shit going on here. All right. Check this out. Do you think, because I think this is in a lot of people's minds, not just right kooky conservative people like me, but do you think that this was planned? Because we're ending COVID, and just as COVID is ending, we get into this conflict with Ukraine. I mean, Russia gets into this conflict with Ukraine. I mean, people want to say, well, Putin attacked Ukraine because Biden was in office, which is probably the case. But why do it as COVID is ending? I mean, it almost seems as if the powers that be, the lizards that are in charge of the world, want us
the iguanas
to always be in some sort of hardship or conflict.
Well, I think I mean, well, you look, I'm all for it. I'm all for the good old tinfoil runs. But I think in this situation, I think it was a crime of opportunity. I think because it is a crime. He invaded a non-hostile nation. I think that, in regards, you can't attack with mask on. No, I'm just joking. No, I just think that's just the way everything worked out. I think logistics plays better whenever you don't have a super virus, supposedly threatening everybody. So,
Supposedly.
I think there's a little bit of that, but I mean, whether or not it keeps everyone on their toes, I mean, that's, I don't know, man. That's kind of a stretch, but hey, there's fucking crazier things that have happened, right?
I don't know, man. It just seems a little bit off. It just seems a little too like you didn't even get like almost a day of rest from when COVID ended to when this complex started. I think it started like maybe mask mandates came off, people were happy, and then 24 hours later, this shit happens.
Well, yeah, and it's pretty funny. I think Rogan said something about that. He was like, oh, hey, it's funny now, COVID's gone. After the Ukraine invasion, now there's no COVID. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of funny how that happened. I mean, yeah, you never know, man. I mean, it could be part of the play. If I were to be more of a conspiracy betting man, I still think I think wars are a way to recoup losses financially,
maybe,
for the largest industry in the world, which is the military industrial complex. So to me, I always think wars seem to pop up after really hard financial situations. So, and I could, if you want to like expound upon that, in 2008, we were going to attack Syria. Remember?
Yeah.
Right at a little after the recession and all this stuff. Also, we start saber rattling about Syria, and Syria sucks ass. And 2010, Assad's gassing his people. All this shit, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't go to war, which put a big dent in our financial recovery. I think in the end, I think wars are typically started whenever countries are suffering financially. Russia is seriously fucked. I think they were fucked even before COVID. I think COVID was like, and for people that don't know, there's a program called Star Wars, pretty fucking funny, where we told the Russians back in the 80s, and we had them believe we spent, I think $1 trillion on all this bullshit research because we told the Russians that we had satellites that could fire lasers and destroy nuclear bombs. So the Russians were losing their shit in their pants because no one ever thought that could even be humanly possible. They spent so much money trying to overcome this problem that they literally broke themselves in half financially, which is part of the reason why the USSR fell. So
it was a lie.
It was a ruse. Yeah, we never had it. Fucking Reagan was laughing. Everyone knew. We're all laughing. At the end, everyone was fucking cracking up. They're like, "We're fucking have lasers. What are you talking about? This isn't Buck Rogers, So
is this these are the same people that use the pencil in space, and we spend a lot of money trying to figure out a pen.
Yes, sir. And guess what? There we go. So I think it's just part of that. I think Russia was already under severe financial strain. Post-COVID, even worse. I mean, so I think they were just doing what everyone does. Blow up some tanks, cause some spending. They would have secured, better pipelines in Ukraine. I mean, Ukraine has an unbelievable amount of natural gas. I think this was all financial means and reasons. This was just old imperialism poking its head out, and they fucked up. So now they're screwed. So I think Russia's taken heavier losses than they ever thought. And to be quite honest with you, once their stock market opens, which by the way has been closed for 3 weeks now, people imagine the U.S. stock exchange was closed for 3 weeks.
we would be economic collapse. We'd have
which
nothing but
Russia is
war
right
to
now.
go on by.
Right, which is what Russia is right now. But a lot of people are trying to say, oh, they're not that bad. If you haven't opened your stock market in 3 weeks, you're that bad. And so that's why I think some of these sanctions have actually worked. Like I've actually talked a lot of shit about sanctions, but I think the combined efforts of Europe and the United States, I think, has basically collapsed the Russia economy. So it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. So nonetheless, that's it's kind of our Ukraine update. Other than that, they're fighting. Definitely still a lot of fighting. A lot of casualties, civilian casualties now, as air raid attacks. And let it be known though that the Russians are no worse than anybody else in this. If you look at the bombing raids that occurred in World War II against the Germans, you look at the bombing raids that occurred against Japan, you look at the bombing raids, I mean, literally every square inch of Korea was bombed by the United States in the Korean War. You look at the bombing raids that we did in Vietnam, the drone strikes that we've done, including recently where we killed that poor man who they try to say was part of ISIS-K.
The poor man and his 10 kids?
Yeah, and his 10 kids.
Yeah.
The Russians aren't any different. The Russians aren't these horrible, evil people because we've all done it. Unfortunately, civilians get killed. That's part of the game. They want to drive people out of the cities because it's part of a stranglehold that collapses your society. If everyone runs away because they're scared they're going to die, it's a lot easier to capture that city. That's what everyone does. So the Russians aren't any worse or evil for doing it. Putin isn't some he might be a sociopath.
He is.
But when it comes to war, that's what every side's done. Since the advent of the airplane, I believe the first time the airplane was used was in 1912 by the French against, I believe, some colonies. And so that was kind of where the air raid came from, was instead of trying to maintain presence in the colonies, they would just build an air base that would just go and bomb the shit out of them if they acted up. So, if you think that Russia is horrible for doing it, is, but there's definitely gonna be a lot more civilian casualties. So, our hearts and prayers go out to the people of Ukraine and just the people of Yemen and all people that die over this bullshit. So, war is not pretty.
We're going to talk about gas prices.
We should. I think I had a slight tantrum the other day.
What happened?
Well, okay. So this is my thought process. And so this is my humble opinion. So if you look at the periodical growth of gas and gas prices, correct? So a month ago, a gallon of gas, I believe, I think I quoted all this earlier. And we can post this up on Twitter after the show. It'll have the exact numbers. But a month ago, a gallon of gas was about $3.15, and a barrel of gas was $93. Right?
Nice. All right.
So
the good old days.
Fast forward, $3.05, something like that. Fast forward to a couple of days ago at the height of gas prices, a barrel of crude oil, whatever, was $1.19. And our gas prices were, I believe the average was over $4, right?
Yep, just about.
Gas prices have dropped. Actually, as they have completely crashed back down to the $90 range, $94 at one point. Gasoline's still over $4 per gallon. See, the crazy part is when gas increased 50 cents over a week, the price of gas increased very quickly. So with that being said, hold on a second. So I'm trying to kind of collect my thoughts for a second or whatnot. Once it collapsed, the overall price of gas, so hold on, we're having some technical difficulties.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. Sorry, as I was giving my spiel, I saw Mr. Rick drop out of the phone. Basically, when gas rose 50 cents,
Yeah.
right, it did it because the gas price of oil shot up very quickly.
Yeah.
And so they marked up gas very quickly. But
Mhm.
when the price of gas shot back down, the price of gasoline at the gas station did not go back down. So I think it's just kind of it's kind of a weird, crazy thing where basically you see the prices of gas increase very quickly, but when the market drops back down, they don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, you know what's? I think I know what's happening. I think Benji's trying to log in.
Uh-oh. 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 Send them the invite. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
we gonna have more people?
I think that's what's
Uh-oh.
happening because it keeps telling me
Trying
to
to
go to an
log you up.
iPhone. Yeah.
Oh boy. I got an iPhone for you. Send them the
All right.
ID. Yeah, email it to them. Okay, we might be
Cool.
joined by Mr. Benjamin James. But just to finish up, what I don't like is the way that gas prices, and you know what else you could kind of throw in there? Oh,
What's that?
electricity prices. These
Well,
these commodities that are so adverse to our economy are tied to these crazy market prices, but whenever the prices go back down, they still stay up.
well, that's because okay, one thing it's a speculative market.
Well, it
Okay,
is and it isn't though, right? It is
it
and it's
is. It is because yes, the prices might go down, but they may also go up, or supply may be compromised.
right.
So nobody wants to bring down the price of anything until they're sure that supply is
Well, right, but
secure.
they're sure as hell ready to jack it up.
Yeah,
But that's called price gouging.
it's not.
I mean, that's
It's
what it
not.
is. It's fucking price
It's
gouging.
not
It's like,
price
oh,
gouging.
well,
It's
they're
not price
not. Oh,
gouging.
okay. So, but
It's not
it's
price
okay if you
gouging.
speculate and you make a lot more money, but it's not okay if you speculate and you're ripping people off. Like that doesn't
Well,
make any sense, man.
no. Here's the way it works. Price gouging is when you have a hurricane and you have a massive supply of water, and you're bringing up the price on purpose. Okay.
Which we're doing with oil. We have a
No. Hold
war.
on.
We have a massive supply of oil,
No.
and we're spiking the price because of supposed demand at some point.
No. Here's what's happening. It's not a supply and demand market. It's not directly correlated. It's a speculative
Bullshit.
market.
It's
Okay.
a bullshit market.
No. It's speculative. What
Nope.
happens?
Nope. Don't try
What
to fucking do
happens?
this. You know
It's
what
not
you're
a supply
saying
and
is
demand.
fucked up.
It's not a supply and demand. What happens is if you can secure a steady supply of oil for the next 6 months to a year,
Right.
okay, then the price of gas is going to come down. But if the supply has increased temporarily because Biden depleted the reserves and that's all we got, well, those reserves are going to come back down.
Right. But the problem is that's not the problem though. If you have gas prices and they're going down, right? I just think that so if you have commodities that are so important to our economy, you have commodities that are so important to our system, why are we allowing them to be in a speculative market, right? Because what happened as soon as the price of gas went up? Our economy crashed, right? We had this massive drop. We dropped 2 to 3 points over a couple of days of our whole stock market, right?
Yeah.
So these commodities need to be socialized. They need to be nationalized. 100%.
No, they're not. No,
yes,
you're not
does,
going to
because
let it.
guess what?
No,
if we had fixed prices on electricity,
Nah.
because if you have a winter storm, you get a $7,000 bill. That's okay.
Nah.
If you
No, it's not okay.
If you have a bunch of jerk offs fucking run the price up of shit, it's not okay. And these things are so crucial to our economy and to our overall view of life. Why are they not nationalized? Because I'll tell you right now, every other country subsidizes their people's petroleum and gas products. We don't.
The reason they're not socialized is because the government does a shitty job of running these industries.
Right, but at least it'd be the same price.
No, for how
shitty
long?
Shitty job or not, it would be the same price.
It would be mismanaged. It would be mismanaged, and it would be.
And it's
it
not mismanaged now.
No, it's not.
BP,
the free market.
BP. What did BP do in the Gulf of Mexico? What did every single oil driller in the Gulf of Mexico do? Not give a fuck and basically destroy all the ocean.
Yes, but you know what? They were held
Fracking,
liable.
how much?
They,
How fracking?
wait,
How much
wait.
environmental damage?
BP,
Whoa! Hold on.
BP was held liable. They were sued and they
Yeah,
paid
they're
out millions of dollars.
$10 billion, and
They
they
paid out
actually
billions of
still have
dollars.
not paid out any of
But
it because it's still in court.
if the government were to do the same thing BP did, no one can sue the government. You're not going to get shit.
Hey, guess what?
So,
You didn't get shit from BP either. What did we get?
Yes, they did.
They watched a couple of
BP,
ducks.
BP
They
paid
watched
out,
a couple of ducks.
No,
with
BP
Dawn.
paid out billions of dollars.
They no, they did not.
fishermen.
Look at it. They have not paid out shit. Look at what they've done. They're still in
No,
litigation.
dude,
it's
that's
going
not
to be
true.
30 years before they pay 28 cents. Dude, they just barely settled the Exxon Valdez spill last year.
Right, but they settled it,
Or
right?
No, 2 years ago.
Good
That
luck
was
getting
when
a
I was
settlement
a
from the
child.
government. Good luck getting a settlement from the government. At least it
You weren't even
happened.
born yet. You weren't even born
Actually,
when
I was
Exxon
born.
Valdez. You were?
Yeah, I was. I saw it on
I keep
TV
thinking
at my grandma's house.
Exactly. And you were terrified. And guess what? That's mismanagement too, bro. These private companies don't give a fuck either. And if you cannot talk about the amount of damage done by fracking and all that, dude,
Yes, but
I don't think they're doing a great job.
The government is a
doing a great
worse.
job either.
The government is a worst entity you can have to be charged of anything.
Well, bro, I don't think fucking, I'll tell you right now, I don't think fucking BP, Exxon, Citgo, all these other shitty old companies are much better as they're contributing to like any government that's willing to fucking sell their shit. I mean, I was just saying, at some point we need to do this because every other country subsidizes. You think people of Saudi Arabia pay full price for gas? No,
it's made over there.
People of Venezuela, no.
They have. I mean,
people in
gas
Nigeria, no.
Gas to them.
People
probably in their
everybody.
houses. You know, it's like water. You have water, natural gas, and they have gasoline come out of your faucet.
It probably isn't the faucet, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. Though we're the only ones paying these crazy exorbitant prices, and we're the ones paying for it all.
It's not true. Europe isn't.
Western Europe. I'm not saying Western Europe doesn't. Yeah, but at some point we nationalize, we lock in a price, and that's what you do for oil. That's it. Yep. Because we're at a point now where this, dude, it's too destructive to our economy, and it's a strategic thing. Strategic. We need oil strategically for our war machines, for everything.
You would think that the United States would try to produce more oil, but they don't.
It's not about no. The United States need to nationalize their oil supplies and nationalize their oil companies, and then prevent speculation. Prevent speculation. That's it.
Nationalizing anything never worked. It's just it goes to mismanagement. I mean, look at California. They nationalize pretty much everything.
No, they can't nationalize anything. They can't because it's still California's for shit. But seriously, at some point we do have to realize we do need to hold down our basically oil, electricity, things that are being price gouged and moved around. But we can't nationalize. We cannot nationalize Benjamin James, who has joined us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We thought we were going to be without him, but he is definitely in the house. Can you hear us, Benjamin James?
Yeah, the only commodities that you can socialize are my fucking nuts.
See? And
really? You can socialize that?
Once again.
Yeah, you can socialize that. Everybody gets a little bit. Everybody gets an equal share of my nuts. That's how we socialize.
The social commentary and the solutions put forth by Blueberry Sugar are not only magical, they probably can save the world. But I do know one thing that I think was something near and dear to all of our hearts that I think we could talk about real quick before we go into the break is Amazon bought MGM, guys. The lion has an arrow going through its mouth. What do y'all think of this? This is pretty crazy. This is a massive media purchase. I would probably say as big as Disney purchasing Fox News and all those programming, right? I mean, this is a pretty big deal. $8.6 billion deal.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that with MGM? Go ahead, Benji. Go ahead.
Oh, no. It's just, it gets to the point like now, like what, not to go on a total antitrust tirade, but at what fucking point does it stop, man? Like,
I don't think it can.
It can't, right? Does Bezos literally need to own the world?
He already does. And he's a space captain. He's
over owning it now. He's an
owning whore.
I don't like, I mean, there's no, it's more of a theoretical, I guess, beef that I have with this whole thing. But where do we go? I'm just looking down the future at 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Like, it's already a problem, right? We already see, if you just want to look at Amazon in particular for, worker, not to make the sensationalized headline kind of tried here, but like pissing in Gatorade bottles, but meanwhile making not only record-breaking profits, but like absurdly record-breaking profits during a pandemic where everybody's suffering. And this motherfucker, like I said, not to simplify it, but the more and more I hear this shit, it is that really that simple at the end of the day. At what point do you step in and be like, but there's no way to do it. There's no way to do it. And it's just frustrating. It's frustrating because I see where this is headed, and I see where there's more MGM, right? That's they make movies. Okay. So that you just get more and more into the realm of, movies already, we can all agree, are shit because of the conglomerations, and because you got to watch what you say. You got to make sure you don't make a movie that's going to piss off China. You got to make sure you make, there's no such thing as like art anymore. It's all corporate.
It's all dollars and cents.
It's dollars and cents. You got to watch what you say. So there's no real expression. So once again, it's just another move that's just not making anything better for the fucking society. That's for sure. People are going to make more fucking profits because of it. That's for sure. But it's hard to get any, it's hard to get excited and not get pissed off when a company that already, like I said, owns the fucking globe. Get bigger. Keep stacking it on. Get bigger. Get more power.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It is
because, the crazy thing is that there's also going to be confluence with all the programming, because basically back in 86, I was just kind of reading up more about the deal. In 86, Turner and AT&T purchased all the MGM library from 1986 previously. Yeah. So now the MGM library from 1986 till now, which will belong to Amazon officially, is going to be part of it. And they're already Amazon saying, look, we're not going to stream all the movies directly, the MGM makes are not going to be streamed directly to Amazon Prime, etc. We are still going to support theatrical releases. This is a big play for media content. You can't think of a bigger player in now than Amazon Prime now. Amazon Video will basically have everything. It's kind of crazy.
It is, and from a political side, it pisses me off even more too, because that's just more that's more influence from one fucking direction that you're going to get over lawmakers voting on shit. Like, it's just throwing it more into one big pile where it's just one set of influences, as opposed to, at least if the money's coming from all over different places, at least there's a variety of, viewpoints or people's pockets to grease. But this is just like one big wave. And everybody just laughs all the way to the fucking bank.
Well, and if you think about it, but COVID probably made this ripe, right? COVID probably incurred massive losses for MGM, especially with the lack of theatrical releases and any type of properties or titles that actually did anything. So this was crazy. So this is a big deal. More to be seen. Disney bought Fox, stuff like that. That turned out okay. For the most part, it hasn't seemed to completely isolate revenues and stuff, but I think we're gonna probably take a little break, poo. Or
one thing, do you know what the bad part is about Disney buying Fox?
What
that really worries me is that you're never gonna get to see another Jerry Springer reboot again.
Oh, that'd be
I don't know,
that's
dude.
Terrible.
Hey, bro, trust me. If there's money in it, Mickey Mouse is gonna find that shit. It's true. Good. Trust me, dude. Yeah, trust me. If there's money in it, Mickey Mouse will put it. He'll put Springer naked with a cock ring on if it makes enough money. So with that wonderful vision I just gave our audience, we're gonna take a little breaky poo, and we'll catch you guys on the back end. I think we got some fun topics to discuss. So stick with us, go fuck yourselves, and we'll see you in a little bit. 。
we're back.
What is up? Burning this
Hey.
motherfucker down, man.
We sure are.
Yeah, man. We kicked all the cocaine off that mule. So, party back, ladies and gentlemen. We will be joined by our illustrious Benjamin James again. He did a drive-by, but he will be ducking back in hopefully before the end of this this sequence, as he is once again cruising through the astral planes, and will be joining us for a little bit in the party in the back. But we might as well get it started off with a wonderful discussion that I'm very proud of, where there's very few times where the world can come together to agree that something sucks ass. And one of those things is the hour change. The illustrious spring forward, fall back, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? The Senate, I think it was almost not contested, but I think there's still some assholes who didn't want to vote for it because they're just jerk offs, basically voted to keep daylight savings time permanent in 2023. So with that being said, we only have to lose an hour one more time. So I'm pretty stoked. What do you think of that, man?
Hey, I don't know. I'm glad that it passed the Senate, but will it pass the House? And will the president sign it?
Well, well, it depends what time they get it to him. They get it to him early enough in the morning, pretty good chance. If it's after 2:30 and he's had his watercress sandwich and his mushroom soup, well, we're not gonna have a good chance with that. But I do like it because I I fucking hate this whole stupid clock thing, right? It makes no sense.
Man. It screws with you. When you're a kid, it doesn't really matter. But as you get older, like us, it really matters, dude. Like, you don't function for the rest of the week. I still haven't recovered.
I'm grumpy. Aren't you grumpy? You get grumpy. You're tired. You don't want to it's just disgusting. I hate it. I hate daylight savings time. So once again, we're having to do this shit. We lose an hour. Whoever came up with this concept, and then to do it on Sunday night. Hey, assholes, why don't you do it Saturday, right? So we could have a day or two before we have to go back into the work week. But nonetheless, I digress.
Do it on Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Do it on Thursday.
What? The people who work night shift are gonna get screwed because they'll never get that hour back.
Right? Yes, this is true. They're like, what the fuck? Am I getting it? And the algebra they have to perform in order to somehow fit that into the schedule. So once again, daylight savings time will be permanent in 2023. Keep your fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Write your congressman, tell them hell no, we don't want to fucking keep setting forward, spring forward, fall back. We don't want none of this bullshit. We just want to keep the time the same all the time.
You know what though? What really pisses me off is that it was one thing that I'm tired. I get that. But what happens when you have your kids set on a schedule, on a sleep schedule? You're like, okay, they're going to go to sleep every day. I don't know, 7:30 or 8 o'clock or whatever at the time you guys choose. And then the hour goes back. And then what are you supposed to do, man? Like, retrain your kids?
Yeah, no. You got to fucking, this happened. Of course, we both have small children. This happened to me several times where you'll have an 11, 12-month-old, a
3-year-old toddler.
Yeah. 3-year-old toddler, and they're used to going to bed at 7:30, and then now 7:30 is not 7:30, so now they're up till 8:30, but they still have to wake up at fucking 7 or whatever for daycare. It's fucking bullshit. So I feel you. I think it's the most mundane thing we fucking do. It is the bane of the existence, right? It's really pointless. Dumb. It is dumb. It's dumb. But and you want to hear something good? I was listening to Senator Rubio speak about this, because he's actually a pretty hardcore proponent.
He sponsored it, I think.
Right. Yeah. Of daylight savings time. But he actually brought up some great points. With daylight savings time, it actually reduces the number of people who die from car wrecks. It actually reduces crime overall. Yeah. Isn't that funny? But you have to remember. So apparently as night falls, people get to be more criminally advantageous, I guess, in the cover of night. And also people, when driving at night, is significantly more dangerous. Yeah. So the more hours of daylight you have encroaching into the nights, the safer it actually is. So I was listening to some of this stuff and it totally made sense. I was like, wow, this is a great fucking bill. So, I'm pretty bummed. I do like it.
If it's
I
a
do
one
like
thing
it.
Congress does, man. If it's a
Oh,
one thing
right.
Congress does, I mean,
Oh my God.
please
Fucking
just make the brick, make it better for the American people. That's it. You
right.
can do it one step at a time, one legislation at a time.
Exactly. And this could be it. This could be the domino where they finally start doing shit that actually helps the American people. But I'm not gonna hold my breath on it, ladies and gentlemen. But let's hope that we get rid of this bullshit daylight savings time, stop playing numbers and games with our clocks, and we can all have a normal sleep schedule.
This may get Rubio the presidency finally.
I'll be quite honest with you. I might vote for him if he gets this fucking thing. You heard that straight from the facts. I will Marco Rubio if you get this shit passed and somehow get through the gauntlet of KKK members and other people that will be trying to replace Trump on the ticket. You got my vote, buddy. If you can get this one through, we can run this one home. So I would love it. I just fucking think it's dumb. I just, it was funny because when it happened, when we lost the hour, I was so pissed. I was like, so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
This is so dumb. But guess what? Immediately afterwards, you hear Marco Rubio saying, nope, we're going to get rid of it. So hoping we fucking do. But one thing I hope we don't get rid of, and this is going to go back into nerd talk and the party in the back. This is, pretty interesting is the James Webb Telescope did publish some high-res pictures. So we got things are starting to getting aligned. The cameras are good to go. We probably won't get real in-depth field pictures until June still, but it's showing that everything is actually working quite well on this. I would say probably this modern day marvel. Know what I'm saying?
What happened on this? It's fully focused now. It's taking full-on pictures of the universe.
Yep. And they're all working in unison. So that's the big thing. All 18 mirrors now move in unison. So it's actually a huge deal because, that's kind of what we needed. So we're going to start getting some deep field images, as they put it, as they kind of say in the article. And also we'll start getting more high res pictures as time goes by. So guys, we have a very viable telescope out there.
I want to see aliens. Where's the aliens?
Oh fuck! I cannot fucking wait. Okay, dude, how tits would it be though? How tits would it be? How tits would it be? Also,
to see another civilization from far away.
Wouldn't that be dope? Right? And then we fire a missile at them.
Yeah, pretty much. And then what would happen is that we would see like a civilization of lights and stuff, and then they would be like, "Yeah, but they were alive 300 million years ago because that's how far they are." So they're not there anymore. I'm like, what?
That weird.
Come on. Send them a signal.
Strange. How strange would that be, right? So for anyone not understanding, whatever light we see is from light from the time frame that it came from. So if there's something that's 444 light years away, it took light 444 years to reach us from the origination. So if you're looking at something 444 light years away today, and if you were to I guess use our time frame, that would be like us looking back at the Crusades almost, or looking back at like the Salem witch trials. Like that's the type of time frames that the difference.
It's like if someone takes a picture of you with a flash
right
in front of you, you see it instantaneously because light traveled from the camera to your eyes. But if someone should take a picture of you with a flash and you were in Jupiter, you wouldn't see that flash immediately. You'd see it,
16 minutes later, right?
20 minutes later.
Yeah.
It would hit your eyes.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, someone just took a picture of me.
Yeah, like 20 minutes ago. Fuck.
Yeah. And so that person is, he's already doing something else that he would have done 20 minutes.
He's jerking off that. So, but the big thing we hope is that we capture a society that's in some type of industrial revolution for the very least, right? Or some type of technological revolution, somewhere where they're making like biosignatures showing some type of like inorganic compounds.
Are they making microchips? Fuck man.
Hopefully, because we need them. By the time we get them, it may help our shortage. We'll probably send a message, send chips now. But in reality, these fuckers, it's kind of a cool thing, right? It's pretty neat that we do see this happening. So I'm pretty stoked. So, hopefully we see these biosignatures and, we really do finally answer the question. So I really think that we're maybe a year or so from us seeing it. And the crazy point is, like Rick said, we may see the embers of the civilization that died millions of years ago. Because I think some of the furthest objects we've seen out there are like 14 billion light years out, 15 billion light years out. This is billion with the B, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say if somehow a civilization formed a billion years after the Big Bang, which I think is impossible because of the cooling effect or something. But let's say if something we're able to do that, we could be looking at like the reflections of a society that's been dead for billions of years. It's so fucking weird, right?
You know what I would like to see? Wouldn't it be fucking cool if some civilization was observing Earth, right? And they got to see dinosaurs, and they send that back to us, and we get to see dinosaurs like what they really look like.
That would be cool.
Because they're what is it? 250 million years away,
Yep.
So they see that, the dinosaurs, and then they send that signal back to us and be like, wow, this is what the Earth looked like 250 million years ago. That's crazy.
It would be crazy. Wouldn't it be crazy? Or maybe they just send us missiles. A message or something. Missiles, probably. We're such dicks. I guarantee you we're sending missiles. If we see something, someone's going to be like, send a missile.
Well, it's like that guy who pokes a stick at ants or whatever,
right?
Like the ants are living there happily doing their thing, and then there's some douchebag, like the government, goes in there with a stick and starts poking at it.
Well, dude, imagine if that's what we do, though, right? Let's say we use this modern marvel. We see something, we're like, oh, people on Alpha Centauri, right? Let's say something even relatively close in our galactic ring,
Mars,
right? Like, well, galactic ring wise. So let's say 2 to 3 light years, even 10 light years away. 10 years is not a substantial amount of time. So let's say we see these people, we're like, holy shit, the Kapuians. We send a light signal out to them, right? 20 years, let's say they get it, they return it back to us. That's pretty fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
Think about that. How fucking insane would that be? If like literally we send a message to someone 10 light years away, 10 years later we receive the message back.
That'd be pretty cool.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is nuts. And the other day we touched on the some of the biosignatures being basically baked into the planet. So I mean, this could be something that happens quite frequently out there in the universe. So I'm stoked. So as I'm geeking,
we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I feel you.
But yeah. Well, I mean, is that it for the show?
I think so. I think
wow.
We were expecting Mr. Benjamin James to join, but I think he's probably caught up in saving the universe himself. I mean, he's pretty.
You know what?
Wild guy.
He said he was going to walk his dog, and I'm pretty sure he was probably abducted, or he got some sort of an alien going on there. I don't know what happened.
You are right. You are right. Of course, they're going to abduct him as he's walking his dog, and they're probably anal probing him. Oh, or maybe not.
Looks like he might be coming in. Oh, he's
might be
there.
Coming in for a minute. Yes,
Dude.
We go. And we were worried you were getting anal probed on your dog walk there, Mr. Blueberry.
No, that's not what happened. So
we were pretty sure. We were pretty sure as we were preparing. We were preparing for the wrap up, but we were a little.
We're just wrapping it up, man.
We're wrapping it up.
Yeah, man.
No, that's all good. It's all good.
I was worried that was the case, but thought
it fucking happens. It happens.
It's all good. It's all good.
Anything?
Maybe I'll go live.
Where can they find us?
Yeah,
maybe I'll go live. They can find us on. Yeah, that's fucked up. They can find us on Instagram at skip_the_noise_podcast. They can also find us on Twitter at skipthenoisepO1. You can also suck my balls. You can find us on email at skipthenoisepodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you.
You can find my sweaty nuts on your forehead. What else can you find? Hey man, at least you can get the participation. Man. No, but it's a difference between like calling into work and just being late as fuck. So at least I get credit for showing up.
Dude, you're like, instead of being marked absent for the day, it's like school. You have to stay till like at least 9:30 to not lose the whole day.
Right, that's what I did.
You get marked here.
That's what I did.
Oh my god, that's so fucking funny. Oh my god, Rick is a trip. So what? So with that, you heard it here. Benjamin James may go live to try to spread some cheer. But Jesus Christ. Yeah, just to let you guys out there in the universe know, a lot of shit going down, and hopefully we see some aliens with some big telescopes, and yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, hey,
Ben, you don't want to say something, Ben?
Yeah, you want to say some stuff?
just real quick to wrap it up. And no, it's good. It's probably good. I wasn't on this episode anyway, because the only thing I've been blasting into my fucking head is Russia, Ukraine stuff. So
yeah, we had a Russia Ukraine section.
That's really all I know at this point, because I don't ingest anything else. So
I don't think
it's probably good.
I don't think anyone can. It's just Ukraine, Russia.
I hear so much Ukraine, Russia, bad times that like I don't even know old shit that I used to know. Right. Like I forgot shit because I know so much. Yeah, there's so much. I'm ingesting so much war material that I don't even know regular stuff like my phone number.
Dude, you're learning tactics.
That's how heavy it is. Yeah, no, really.
Oh my god.
So yeah. Well, anyway, this is fun. I'm glad I got to participate at least a little bit.
Well, we missed you, man. It's always we definitely carried on without you. Good. But we definitely miss you. It was good to see you. Yeah, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same, bro. It wasn't the same.
Well, I'll do my best to filter out. That's the problem with these.
Have to do a lot.
Yeah, one last little thought is that's
the first 3
sucks.
minutes
When I have to edit shows that I'm not on. I don't have any idea of like where shit is that I might have to edit. So
like
yeah, exactly. So I have to actually listen to the entire thing. Like
that's fucking have to just trust us. Don't worry about it. We drop a really decent job.
Well, no, I mean, even when I'm on, I give it the one through listen, but what that means is I'll have to be attentive when I do that instead of just kind of
going to have to be attentive for the first 5 minutes.
Yikes. Well, I'll just chop the first 5 off.
A lot of cocksuckers and everything thrown in there. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, keep it real, represent. This was a good one, and we should hopefully be coming back in full force next week. All the dicks out, ready to give you all your news. So with that, keep it real, represent, and they get ready to get smiggled next week.
Bing bong.